From my experience, I've never seen anything like it. The scale of the numbers of refugees coming to Lesbos alone, and then the way they have to move from here, unknowingly what's going to happen to them, the uncertainty, and knowing where they come from, you know, that combination is horrendous to see. I mean, the thing is, there are refugees coming in every day, all time of the day. Then the problems continue along the road where they have to walk when they come down to Mytilene, to the camps. So, I mean, the help is needed everywhere.
We are not in a normal pattern where people are stuck in a place like in a refugee camp or in the reception centers where you can go, assess the situation, provide some response directly in situ. You don't have that here, because here people are just transiting like in an airport. People are just passing by. This kind of situation is totally different. Different humanitarian situation which create different needs and which demands us to be very creative, because we have to create new kind of answer, new kind of reply, and no one was prepared to that. Not this influx, not this intensity.
Mobile phones, smartphones are a lifeline for them. They really, really need to have battery so that they can communicate with the families back home. They need access to information and maps so that they can communicate with their family where they are and what their future plans are, where they are heading.
I bought a SIM card from Greece. She told me these SIM cards work everywhere in Europe. It's international, but maybe she lies. Not working in here. I can access to internet.
In most of the camps, the Wi-Fi network is organized in one or the other way. Unfortunately, it's overloaded and it's not working all the time. Migrants are using them to get any kind of information, including information about routes, but also they're using it to get in touch with their family members.
This is our second mobile router, providing mobile internet for up to 10 people, and I just changed the name of the network into Croatian Red Cross RFL 2.
Okay, Sam. Here. Here's your name.
He's coming. الله يساعدك حجي. الله يساعدك. الله يساعدهم. شلونكم؟ شلون الصحة؟ الو تسمعني؟ شلون صحتكم؟ مشتاقين؟
No have phone and no have anything, because when come to Turkish and to Yunan, all of we boot in the broken and go in the border. 2 weeks we are family. He's done anything and no, we don't know we are dead or not, and fine or not, hungry or not. This is my life, our life. All the people here, this is life.
The modern technology, the Viber and WhatsApp system, it's very good for us, because sometimes the missing family has the mobile, but the one who is here doesn't have, and we help him to connect through the Viber or WhatsApp.
The RFL teams that we have, they give 3-minute phone calls to minors in accommodation centers when there is a need.
We have elaborated new tools, such as introducing connected tablet to internet in place of detention to enable migrants which are detained and who do not have internet access and who do not have a means to contact their family by phone to give news through email, Facebook.
And this is my father, and this is my wife.
Situation changes hour by hour, so sometimes you have 200 refugees per hour, sometimes you have 500 refugees per hour. So you should make decision very fast and we should be careful because when we have a lot of people, usually it happens that we have separate families.
Three separated families, but those families, part of them are here in tent and part of them are unfortunately in hospital. So I was now checking with my mobile phone what's happening with them and when will they return to here so we can connect family again and send them to their place. Yeah.
We had cooperations with the public railway organization, so they were aware that they might have people on the trains who got separated just by getting on the train. So they were informing us saying, hey, there's a father looking for his kid. Do you still have it at the other train station? And he sent us with a mobile a picture of the father with the contact details of the father.
That was a lady with two babies. And, her old child was 2 years and the other child was only 8 months. They came here crying, and after our interview we found out that she's waiting for her cousin, and her cousin is in Turkey. She stayed here in the UNICEF house for 3 days, as long as the registration was allowed, and we managed with the Hellenic Red Cross to find the person in Athens and bring him as fast as we could, and they went to Germany together.
It is very important to have presence on entry and exit points in order people to know that there is a possibility to see where their family is. They can use tools as trace the face or tracing application.
The separation which happens here along the route can last for many years. One of the national societies here around the route published their statistics saying that they brought together more than 200 family members. If there was not such a service in these camps, we could not imagine how this journey for these people would be.
When it's an obvious case or an incident or a shipwreck, for example, we're not waiting for a tracing request to be filed, which is a normal procedure, but we are trying to get information: who was there, have you identified them, how many you have not identified, how many are missing. It's a good building up of information which might be useful pretty soon.
And at the same time, our tracing teams all over the country are trying to collect from the survivor of the shipwreck some element which could lead later on to that identification and which could lead us to approach the family, because sometimes people traveling with the migrant who have deceased would know them, would know their identity without being related directly to them, but at least that help us to approach the family back in country, in Syria, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Somalia, Eritrea.
We have 29 migrants that die on the railways through Macedonia, because, you know, they were informed that they must go through railway where the trains are passing in Macedonia, and that's why there were a lot of accidents, train accidents. We, together with ICRC, we made the boards to inform them.
The Red Cross is the only organization in Austria that gives especially the advice on the family reunification. In most of the cases, they just come here and tell us, okay, I received my positive decision, I heard I can bring my family to Austria, how does this work? So we explain all the procedure, that their families, they have to go to any Austrian embassy abroad, which documents they have to organize, if an appointment is needed at the embassy, how they can get this appointment and everything. So we also have good contacts to the Austrian embassies abroad, we have good contacts to the authorities here, and the good cooperation, because we are working on this topic now for nearly 10 years.
Ich bin ganz sehr glücklich, weil meine Familie kommt nach Österreich und mit mir gemeinsam leben. Und das ist ganz toll für mich, ganz lieb.
landing in Greece, the first thing that everyone does is just to rush on the mobile phone and to call the family, say, we made it, we're safe, we're alive, and we're in Greece now. And unfortunately, people have no way to charge their phone while they're sleeping in the street here, and that can last 2-3 days. And they will need very basic service such as internet or place a Wi-Fi hotspot to contact their family and to let them know where they are and what are their plans, or to contact the rest of the family who have already moved forward, who is maybe already in Athens or in Vienna, who's stuck in Hungary.
Numbers are rising. No one is able to give us any prediction on how things will develop. What is for sure, we think that the situation will continue through the winter and even after that. What is also a big question mark is the development in future of the movement of those people, of the duration of their presence in our country.
Macedonia is a very small country and they need only some 5 or 6 hours to pass through Macedonia. Now we have the organized transport for them, and they spent in Gevgelia camp 1 or 2 hours, nothing more.
We already started in September 2014 to set up something we called it an RFL pack for our disaster managers who are responsible for the accommodation and the care of those refugees passing through. So for us it was important that we are already prepared, that the whole Red Cross National Society knows what our RFL needs, and even more important, with whom are you going to deal with? So we have country of origin information, why those people are coming, which languages they speak. We prepared those RFL cards and we said, okay, even if they are not staying here, we could register them if they wanted to, so that we have, let's say, a tracing spot. So if we would get a request from a family member in Sweden, we can say, listen, the guy was here 2 weeks ago in Austria, he was sent back to Italy, but we know he wants to go to Sweden, so that we can close the gaps.
I must honestly say that the RFL logo is not well known. Therefore, what we usually do and did is just walk around the camp and explain what we can do. Just be attentive to people's needs, but also just address people and say, hello, I am Red Cross, I am RFL. If you have problems to contact your family, or if you have lost family members, we can help you. We can offer you Wi-Fi, we can offer you a free phone call. If there's any people in your group that might need this, please refer them to us. Never hesitate to address the Red Cross in any country where you are. Any national society or any person of the ICRC you meet can help you. So don't hesitate to contact us for this. And upon explaining, you often actually find people that need your service. So it's very important to do this.
We are trying to put on each our distribution point some information about the tracing service and other information which could be useful for all refugees. On the door we put for tracing service the people to explain in different languages what can they do in the case if they split or lost some member of their families.
The Trace the Face posters are placed in all asylum centers in Serbia. We have 5 of them, but nowadays we have only 80 persons in all 5 centers. So we decided to place the RFL Trace the Face posters in the transit centers, one-stop centers such as this one.
We're planning to post the service of RFL next to the registration police, so it will be very easy for them to move as soon as they register and they take their papers. If they have any special need about their families, they have lost a person of them, they can move next to the kiosk over there and make an application to the RFL. And during this week, there will be a very quick training program for the RFL. Thank you.
Bravo! On the 16th of September, we plan here to make some training for the people from this area because we thought that for sure it will be the part of the Croatia where the migrants will enter in the country. But unfortunately, instead of training, we have the practical work because on the 16th of September, migrants started to come to Croatia. So these volunteers who were invited for the seminar become volunteers on the spot, and they started to do the work which is necessary for the, let's say, accepting the migrants, distributing the humanitarian aid and providing any kind of assistance they can.
At every border that the migrants are crossing, we have the National Society presence, we have the Red Cross, but we also have the tracing service as well. Here, what we are doing is supporting national societies to enhance the quality of their services. Whether we are talking about tools that they are using, trainings that they need to have.
Family is being brought to the hospital.
Because
the doctor comes and tell you?
No, they first came here.
I'm here in the Balkans to support national societies to cope with this crisis, especially in terms of RFL, of course. I am here to assess the needs of the refugees, but also the needs of national society. We see to what extent they cope and how good they are organized and what else they might need from the ICRC in terms of support to handle this crisis.
Our role is really an advising role. Technically, we are supporting them step by step since we had opened an antenna, an ICRC antenna 2 years ago, and we were physically present, the ICRC, through that RFL antenna for migrants, which was the first time in ICRC history that we opened a service dedicated only for migrants.
We need more technology, we need more resources, like human resources, to deal with this situation.
We need support from many national society. And when I say support, I don't need only the basic needs. I don't need only the staff, the parcels. I need about the volunteer dynamic. So we need volunteers, we need staff, we need people, we need food, we need everything. And everything that comes here is very valuable to us.